Newsflash! Red alert! Red alert! The game has changed and your Apple consumption experience will never be the same again. Click here to find out why. A little while ago, I read a news article about apples, and it's come to my attention that some of you may not be aware of the Apple revolution that's currently happening, so let me fill you in. It's supposed to be an even more anticipated Apple release than the iPhone. The apple in question, named Cosmic Crisp because of its white spots, is a hybrid of the Enterprise and the Honeycrisp apples. It was bred at Washington State University and is being exclusively grown in the state of Washington for the time being. And while the taste is supposed to be good, the bigger selling point seems to be the apple's insanely long shelf life due to its high sugar and acid content, I think. I know about apples. There are claims that this apple will stay good for over a year if stored properly. That's pretty wild. Personally, I don't have any plans to store an apple in my house for over a year. I like that they can last that long, but if an apple has sat upon my shelf for a full 365 days, there's probably something at hand. I'm probably dead. Someone is probably dead. I am, however, interested in its Washington State roots, having just moved back here and reconnected with my love of the state. And although I had nothing to do with its 20-year development, I feel proud of this apple, and kind of like if you ever eat one that you should thank me for it. So today we're going out to get apples, and then we are going to eat apples. They're only in select groceries right now, but we're going to be procuring our produce from Seattle's very own Pike Place Market. So it's like a field trip apple video thing. You're gonna love it, don't worry. Here we go. Now, as we're making our way to Seattle, I should be a little more honest about my intentions today. Not like that. Yes, we are headed to the iconic Pike Place Market, and yes, we are going to pick up some Cosmic Crisp apples. But that's not all we're going to do. We're also going to wander around and check out some of the other shops at the market and maybe review some other food items that I buy. In fact, some people might say that the apples weren't even the reason I went downtown. Some might say I was filming something completely different, just happened to come across the apples and decided to film it on the spot. Now, I'm not saying this is the case, but some people might say that that explains why when I first get to the market, I walk right past a bunch of Cosmic Crisp apples. Again, I'm not saying these things, this guy is. Pike Place Market is probably my favorite spot in Seattle. It's one of the oldest continuously operated public farmers markets in the US and is filled to the brim with goods from local farmers, craftspeople, and merchants. I get vibes that it's considered a bit touristy over here, but I find the market to always be lively and fun, and absolutely every time I'm there, I find something that I hadn't seen before. When I first moved here, I got a job right in downtown Seattle, so I made a lot of early memories walking down this very road on my lunch breaks. I picked up a mocha from the Starbucks just across the street from the market to really Seattleify this already very Seattle experience, so my apologies for when I wave the cup in front of your face. As we make our way down Pike Place, you'll notice a bunch of sidewalk shutter shops. I don't know the actual term for them, but they're one of a few different types of vendors at the market. There's also indoor shops and booths where the vendors are always rotating out. Oriental Market was the first store that really caught my eye today, so we decided to take a little peek. Part of the charm of these market shops is that a lot of them really pack in as much product as they can fit in their usually pretty limited space. And while I do love that about the market, I am not a small man, and I was not wearing a small coat.
Feel too big for this store.
I felt a little cramped. I mostly just didn't want to break anything. This store is primarily a grocery, and it's hard not to look around and find something that looks worth trying. Yakisoba sauce. Don't think I've ever tried Otafuku brand before, but I gotta say, it was pretty good. Here's some footage of that delicious yakisoba sauce being used. Doesn't that look good? Don't you wish you could eat that? You can't, but I did. Like I said before, these outdoor shops are really just the beginning. These interior parts of the market are super fun to walk around in. They definitely feel like a maze sometimes, but one that you actually want to get lost in. Obviously, I'm not going to be going into every store, but we are going to check out a few more. And this store in particular, Kitchen Basics, seems very appropriate considering this is supposed to be a foods video. I gotta say, calling this store basic is underselling it just a little. Kitchen Basics is packed from floor to ceiling with just about everything one could want when setting up their cooking area, and also probably a few things that nobody wants, but that are cool to admire in a store anyway. While I was looking around, my attention was drawn to a colorful display of plates and flatware. Just gotta scooch by someone here first. Whoops. Yeah, look at these cool cups, jars, and bowls. They may not seem like much, but something about the colors really jumps out at me. But the madness doesn't stop there. This Kitchen Basics store has to be like 20% Fiesta flatware, at least. They come in all different shapes, sizes, and colors, and this store even keeps a list of which colors have been discontinued because apparently there are some really hardcore collectors of these things. Oh, look at the fish. They even come in fish. Too cool. All right, we're headed back out, right after we stop to say goodbye to this sad crab. Goodbye, sad crab. All right, this is an area called Post Alley, and that huge line there is for chowder. I'm led to believe that Pike Place chowder is like the most famous food in the entire market. I guess every shop wants you to feel that way, but Pike Place chowder always has the line to back it up. I've never had it before. After stopping for a moment to smell yet another restaurant that I haven't gotten around to trying, we're headed upstairs. I recently read about Seattle's history with neon signs, and now I'm always on the lookout for cool ones. I really loved this one, so I'm glad I got a good shot of it. And just like that, we're back outside, headed down towards Pike Place. It's a little disorienting, but in a cool way. Up here on the corner is Beecher's Cheese, where you can actually watch the cheese being made. I love Beecher's, and since this is a food video, I'm gonna take the time to recommend their frozen mac and cheese. I tried it for the first time recently, and it is delicious. If you can find it, give it a shot. Just across the street from Beecher's are some hot apple cider stands, which now feels very appropriate given the apple theme of this video. I definitely recommend picking up some hot apple cider here. Now from there, we actually left the market. Some people might say that I went from the market to the location that I actually intended on filming that day, and that's accurate. That's accurate, so expect another downtown Seattle video sometime soon. The sun is starting to set and we're headed back down to the market, this time walking on the left side of Pike instead of on the right. This part of the market is famous for the vendors that throw fish to each other. Unfortunately, we walked up right when they got done flinging some. I think I just got a little of it, but they like to throw fish around. It's very entertaining. Are you noticing all these neon signs now that I pointed them out? Because there are a lot of really, really cool ones. We're going down towards the vendor booths that rotate out, and since it's starting to get late, you'll notice a lot of people putting their stuff away. Most of the big guys are still open and running just fine, but some of the individual vendors are packing up shop. Would you believe me if I told you that I found a miniature replica of myself sitting at one of these stands? Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, at this point, the game has gone from where is the Cosmic Crisp apple to at which produce stand will Ian finally notice the Cosmic Crisp apple? There goes another beautiful display of the apples. There's just so much to look at here. It's easy to glance to your left for a moment and miss something really important on the right. We were finally lured to a stop by a display of delicious-looking pastas at arcade number 8. You got your poop twisties, your brown screw things, your yellowy crinklies, fruity pebbles, other fruity pebbles. They all looked great. Unsurprisingly, I had to pick up this foraged mushroom blend, and as of making this video, I have not had a chance to try it, but it looks super tasty. Even though a lot of the people were packed up for the day, there was an artist whose work really caught my eye. I'm sure you might be able to guess why. The artist's name was John Strongbow, and if you ever get the chance, I recommend visiting his booth. He was a really cool guy who had a lot of really interesting history to share about Seattle, and his art pops under the black light. I mean, what more could you ask for? Down, down, we're headed down. There's a lot of downstairs shops that are super cool. I'm telling you, this market can seem endless sometimes. This store had a really nice Christmas display. It was extremely inviting, but when we went inside, there wasn't really a ton of Christmas merchandise, which is kind of what I was looking for. They did have some really cool looking stuff though. Check out these lamps. Oh, these are some good lamps. I was really bummed that the magic shop was closed. I know this is kind of becoming a running theme for the video, but we gotta come back here. Maybe I can learn a magic trick or something, I don't know. I promise we're getting to the apple. We're almost there, but first we're gonna stop at Golden Age Collectibles. I love this store, as do all of the celebrities that regularly hang out front. Now this is truly the worst celebrity of them all. Since I've been addicted to Shenmue 3 lately, I briefly considered trying the gacha machines, but I didn't really see anything in there that I wanted. I'll wait for them to rotate out. Golden Age is a really great comics and collectibles store. Figures, books, board games, trading cards, totally officially licensed keychains, you name it. Now let's check out this obscene display of pop vinyls. I cannot believe that there are so many of these things, and on top of that they sell well enough to justify an entire wall of them. It reminds me of Beanie Babies, like really ugly Beanie Babies based on drawings by 5-year-olds. Just a joke, just a joke. I mean, not completely a joke, but don't be mad. You can collect ugly stuff if you want, that's fine. I did end up picking up one book, the first issue of Beastars specifically. Excited to crack this one open. Just when you think you've reached the end, when you think you're in some dark and scary corner of the city, nope, you turn a corner and you're right at the gum wall. A wall that people stick gum on. It actually doesn't look so bad right now. I specifically remember the last time they power washed it. It looked gross. Check out this coffee shop. What a cool coffee shop. Adding that one to the next time list. The night is upon us and the Christmas lights are looking freaking rad, which means it's finally time to reveal where I found these stupid Cosmic Crisp apples. Remember when this video was about apples? I noticed the Cosmic Crisp apple at Socio's Fruit and Produce. There was actually a bit of a crowd around the apple stand because unlike other stands I passed by, someone was actually out talking to people about how cool this brand new apple is.
They say that in their testing that they were able to keep this apple in the cold storage for a year.
It was strangely exciting purchasing this new fruit. It really did feel like I was taking part in a piece of history. A teeny tiny piece of history, but a piece of history nonetheless. And that brings us to now. Taste test. Alright, so this video took a little bit longer to put together than I was anticipating. I bought these apples the night of the 5th, and it is currently the 15th. So it's been over a week. They've been kept in my refrigerator as instructed. Let's see if they still taste nice and fresh. And it probably should. I'm pretty sure if you keep a regular apple in the fridge, they keep for, what, 4 or 5 weeks? Oh my god. It is so good. Still nice, firm, juicy, fresh, juicy. How do you describe an apple? Juicy.
It's really sweet too. Oh, it's like candy, like candy.
Take me back to my Halloween candy list. Let me put Cosmic Crisp on there. Now, I am no apple expert, so I'm coming at this with a common man's perspective on the apple, but I don't know how you could make it any better. This is another one of those moments where I wish I had the food words, something besides juicy to describe it, but that's all I can think of. It's like part apple snack, part apple drink. It's so good. It's so crisp and crunchy that it really just feels like you could have just picked it right off of the tree and handed it to me. I mean, it's cold. Are there people that prefer room temperature apples? How do you like your apple served to you? Do you like it cold or do you like it room temperature? The correct answer, of course, is cold, but I respect the room temperature Randy's. I really don't know what else to do but sit here and eat this apple. I should be describing it, but aside from crisp and fresh, what else is there to say? Crispy, crumbly, crusty, fresh, plump, firm, green, all words that can describe the crispy, cosmic crisp apple. As far as taste goes, it's great. Great apple, I think. Very apple-y, not disappointed. Storage, I mean, again, a little over a week in the fridge. Still tastes very fresh. I'd be interested to know how long-term you really can store it. I don't know why they'd lie. I don't know why they'd say 1 year and not mean 1 year. And that's the end of the video. Go out, buy an apple, get a Cosmic Crisp if you can, and tell me how you think about it. What you think about it. I feel like I've just rediscovered my love of apples. I feel like I'm gonna be eating a lot of these in the coming weeks. There's no way you're keeping this in your fridge for a year. You can't have this thing tempting you for a full year. You're gonna cave, you're gonna eat it. I'm gonna try and get some good apple sounds with the rest of what I got here.